So sometimes students benefit from having more advanced education in legal studies. Sometimes they have a preliminary BA or BS that makes them somewhat competitive for law-related jobs, but they want more. They want to be more competitive. So that we provide additional instruction in the nuts and bolts that have to do with law, the legal system, legal research and writing, the legal method, stuff about litigation and legislation, and substantive law, like the different areas of law. So that background and that more intensive background that you can get at the graduate level can make you more competitive for many law-related jobs. In addition, we also see students who are not quite ready for law school yet, but who would like to go on to law school. And they often come into the program basically to use it as a stepping stone to their law degree, ultimate law degree. And we help those students get better prepared for law school. Now, because of COVID-19, some of these advantages are immediately apparent, such as our accessibility. I mean, we're really well located. We're right next door to Penn Station. We also are right near a light rail stop. So when classes are in session, or when internships and other kinds of activities are going on, that's really convenient for students. But our accessibility also extends to our online capacity. UB as a whole in our program also, we're used to doing things online. There's some courses that are taught exclusively online, and all the instructors who teach in our program have taught online on a number of occasions. So that aspect of our program, it makes it a particularly strong one. But in addition to that, we do evening classes because most of our students do work. We offer a couple of summer classes every summer because some students find that convenient. So those are our other advantages in addition to our online options, which we also offer. Our program also is quite affordable. And that is also a reason that students might prefer us.
Our Court Navigator program both makes our students more competitive for legal jobs and makes those students better prepared for law school. The Court Navigator program at University of Baltimore is one of the first of its kind across the nation. What we do, we train students, we provide students with the skills necessary to assist pro se litigants, that's people without lawyers, with their landlord-tenant and/or debt collection cases in Baltimore City District Court. This is a joint program between the University of Baltimore and the District Court of Maryland. Both University of Baltimore and the District Court realized that there's a segment of our community that needs representation. Now, we're not teaching students how to be lawyers, but we're providing them with skills necessary to help these litigants with their cases. The skills we teach the students, one, provides insight into how the law operates, and it gives them the in-person exposure to judges, to lawyers, to courthouse staff, to courthouse clerks. As we stated before, we want to prepare students for law-related careers. Not everyone's going to be a lawyer, not everyone's going to be a judge, but through this unique internship, we expose students to the life of a courtroom clerk, to the life of a clerk in the file room at the courthouse. We expose them to the life of judicial clerks. There are so many jobs and law-related careers that can stem from a life in a courthouse. And that's what we expose the students to. It's a unique and, at this point, very special privilege that students are given in the University of Baltimore. And I would definitely recommend any students who are interested to enroll in the future.
As Justin indicated, by the fact that he's one of the instructors in the program, all of our instructors are lawyers. Most are still practicing, and Professor Holliman is an example. He's still practicing, and he might talk a little bit about that in a moment. But others within the program have both JD and PhD degrees, like me. But Justin, you want to talk a little bit about what a typical instructor in the program is like, since you're one of us?
So one thing about University of Baltimore's professors are that not only do they teach in the classroom, but they live what they teach as well. And I think that's very unique at University of Baltimore. Back in my college days, I had a lot of professors who were good in the classroom, but couldn't provide the practical application of what they taught to the real world. As Professor Scott indicated earlier, a lot of the professors have JDs, are practicing attorneys, as well as full-time and or part-time professors. Me, for example, I own my own law firm. My law firm, I handle cases ranging from criminal law, landlord-tenant, personal injury. I cover all aspects of the law. So when a student comes through the Court Navigator program and they're in court, they had the unique privilege of seeing me try cases. Now, some of the cases they saw were landlord-tenant, some were car accident cases. Because I'm in court a lot, there were relationships with judges that opened doors for the students to go in chambers and meet with the judges and get that one-on-one experience with the judges. In the legal field, it's not necessarily about what you know, but it's also about who you know. And in University of Baltimore, because the professors are active in their fields, they know a lot of people and a lot of relationships that could benefit the students in the long run. And I think any student that it understands that will understand why UB is unique and why that is something they should take advantage of.
We, in fact, do cross-list some law courses from UB's law school from 1 to 4 each semester that can provide students with the ability to basically get the test drive the experience of going to law school to see if it's right for them. And also take law intensive courses. I had a student, for example, who was working in an immigration law firm, and she came to me and said, you know, I'd really love to take an immigration law course. So we negotiated with the law school to offer that. And she had no intentions of becoming a lawyer, but she really needed intensive immigration law. So taking that law school course worked very, very well for her. And our relationship with UB's law school is also an advantage for all of our students. Because you know, the law school's next door. If they want to use the law library, they can. Again, COVID-19 makes that a little more complicated. But you know, law school events, including some events that are specially designed for students who are not in the law school, that they're welcome to come to the law school or participate if it's an online event. And they even reach out to us to ask if our students would be interested. So students will get that additional exposure because of that close connection between our program and the law school. Related to that, we also have pretty extensive pre-law advising. And when I say pre-law advising, I don't mean just advising for law school, but also advising for law-related careers in general, because I think those two things go together. Of course, it's fine to have a job at the same time if you can make this work with your schedule, and most people can because most of our courses are offered in the evening, and right now they're all online. The required courses for the program are, there are 4 of them. There's legal research and analysis, which is really helpful as a gateway course in the program, and that's offered every semester. We have 2 courses that are really designed to give students kind of the basics of the legal system. Legal Foundations, which introduces you to different areas of law, you know, like contract law, property, torts, that sort of thing. And Law and Society, which gives you a more holistic understanding of how law fits in, including a bit of its history, its philosophy, the sociology, you know, how it fits into society. And those 3 basic courses are required of all the students in the program. Then they also need a capstone experience. Because our students are pretty diverse in terms of what's going on in their lives, we have 3 different options for the capstone experience. We do have the internship option. Professor Holliman has just given you a little bit of information about that. We also have other internships available in addition to the Court Navigator, including an internship at the Legal Aid Bureau. We also have as a capstone experience an applied project option. We have a number of applied projects going on at any given time. We work with, for example, Baltimore Renters United right now. We're working with the Self-Represented Litigants Network right now. We had a rule of law project going last semester that a student was working on, looking at international understanding of the rule of law. So those applied projects are another way that students can complete the capstone experience. And then the third way is through an independent study. And you choose a faculty advisor, one of our faculty, and you explore some area of interest, usually area of common interest between you and that faculty member. And that one often leads to some sort of written project, like an article, perhaps even one published in a law review. So those three capstone experiences you can choose from, but you need to take one of them in order to graduate. The remainder of the courses are electives, and they fall into two general areas. One is areas of law, like your criminal law, constitutional law, contracts, that sort of thing. And the other one is legal topics. For example, things like a trial process class, where you learn about litigation, professional ethics class, where you learn about overlapping concepts of ethics that you'll see in all professions and as well as the legal profession. Many of those different ethical requirements actually are legal requirements, as well as professional requirements within a given profession. So those are the legal topics courses that are available. I already mentioned the cross-listed law courses that you can take that can serve as electives in your program. You're also able to take up to 9 credits of graduate coursework in another program, because some students find that they have complementary interests that they want to pursue as part of their career plans. And we try to give people the flexibility, if they want to take courses in graduate programs outside of ours, we do give them some ability to do that. So that's the general structure of the course requirements and the degree requirements within the program. Okay, I'll answer the basics of that, and then I'm going to ask Professor Holliman to chime in with some thoughts about what he's looking for in students. But the basic requirements, you need to have a bachelor's degree. It doesn't really matter what subject it's in, but you need to have a bachelor's degree. Also, it's great if you have a pretty good undergraduate performance, a GPA of 3.0 or better. That makes admissions process very simple. But we also understand that not everybody who has below a 3.0 should be ruled out. In fact, we're eager to accept students who are capable of doing the work. So if you have below a 3.0, if you can provide other indicators that you can handle the academic challenge, good writing sample, or sometimes I'll give students a mini assignment, letters of recommendation, something like that can help students who have below that 3.0 get accepted into the program. Because it's been my experience that some of our best students have had lower GPAs, but in part the reason their GPA was not as high was because they had such a passion for law that their strongest performance comes out when they do law-related curriculum, and maybe didn't express itself as well when they were doing other kinds of coursework. So those are the basic requirements. Professor Holliman, do you want to say some things about what you are looking for in students?
So there's 3 things I'm looking for in students. One is a burning desire to succeed. If you don't have that desire to succeed, then a program like this is not for you. You have to have a burning desire to be challenged. You have to have a burning desire to help people. If you can be motivated to succeed, if you can be motivated to help people, and you don't mind being challenged, this is the perfect program for you. Professor Cotton and myself, we will challenge you. It's not an easy program, but we will challenge you. And why do we challenge you? Because you're going into a career in law. That's not an easy career to go into. And you enter the program one way. It's our responsibility to make sure that when you graduate, you're prepared to be a great employee in whatever field you go. And that's our responsibility, and we take that very serious. So you have to help people, whether you're working in the courthouse as a courtroom clerk, file clerk, attorney, judge, immigration law firm, no matter what area of the law you're working in, you will be interacting with people. And everything you do will have an effect on a person's life. So you have to have that burning desire to help people. So you want to have to help, they have to have that desire to help people, You have to have that burning desire to succeed, because there will be nights where you're saying, why am I doing this? Why do I have to write this essay? Why do I have to go to the courthouse to do X, Y, and Z? But knowing in the back of your mind, know that when I complete this program, I will have the skills and knowledge necessary to make an impact on my community. And that keeps me motivated. That is the type of student we're looking for.
Well, first, let me point out that this is an area where there is job growth. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is expecting growth in law-related professions to be around 15% over the next 10 years. And the Maryland's Office of Workforce Information and Performance projects even more of a growth, around 19%. So I study sort of what's going on in the marketplace for law-related jobs, because obviously it's important for the degree. And the good news is that our students get jobs. The types of jobs they get vary quite a lot. I know people think of legal assistant and paralegal jobs as typical jobs for students from this particular kind of program, but the jobs that are available out there are wide-ranging. So some of them are in court administration, some of them are working for government agencies and contractors. We have a lot of government contractors in this area. Legislative and legal policy staff, nonprofits, government offices, law firm jobs. There's quite a wide range of things that people can choose from. I have a list of kind of interesting jobs that graduates of the program have gotten over the last few years. And they include such jobs as medical and legal coordinator for Baltimore Child Abuse Center, case administrator for United States District and Bankruptcy Courts in DC, NFL sports agent, military security clearance adjudicator, a human trafficking programming manager for the state's attorney's office for Baltimore City, a staff member for Consumer Affairs Division for the AG's office, the Attorney General's office, a founder for the Center for Social Awareness, Advocacy, and Ethics in Nigeria, and an officer with the Judicial Commission of Indonesia. And I just mentioned those because those are interesting, unusual jobs that a master's degree has taken students to from our program.